Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Today is October 20th, and it is Monday as well. Hopefully, all you guys had a wonderful weekend. Sorry for the terrible audio quality on yesterday's episode, and sorry for the terrible audio quality on today's episode. We're having microphone troubles. I don't know what it is. This is my second take of the episode because I had no audio at all. So we will figure that out eventually. We are not a budget, or we are not a studio budget level video making stuff. Yeah, we do not have a lot of money, not a lot of funds to go around. So we'll figure it out and we'll see what happens. Outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing wonderful. It's definitely been an interesting day in the news world. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. All the support would be greatly appreciated as we are trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. So if you're new here, please subscribe. And if you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They help me pay for things that I need to pay for, whether it be a new microphone if I need that, or like my groceries and clothing, all those kinds of things. All those funds go to that. Outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing well, and let's get into the news from today. Moving on into the Trump administration segment, as we do, Trump had to board Air Force One using the small stairs. Trump has been forced to use smaller stairs to enter Air Force One due to a hunting stand found in the sight line of his entry to the plane. The alternative stairs entered through the belly of the plane and was done for heightened security measures. A statement released from Kash Patel read, "Prior to the president's return to West Palm Beach, the USSS discovered what appeared to be a hunting stand within the sight line of Air Force One's landing zone. An investigation is now underway, of course." If this was an actual attempt, this would technically be the third, if I'm not mistaken, which is definitely something. There are many things that I could say about this that I'm not going to, because I would rather not be on more lists than I already am, and I would rather not go to jail. So I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways, moving on, the Department of Homeland Security is spending $172 million buying two private jets for Kristi Noem. The Department of Homeland Security is spending $172 million on two private jets for Kristi Noem. The two Gulfstream jets are being purchased through the Coast Guard, and the jets will replace an older one, according to Department of Homeland Security spokesperson. This is because of safety concerns with the old jets. We're in the middle of a government shutdown where government employees aren't getting paid and, likely are struggling right now. Yeah, Ice Barbie over here gets two jets. That really does scream, let them eat cake. We could be using that money to pay for these employees so they can make a living in a country that is already expensive to live in. Let's not forget, eggs are still $12. We gonna fix that anytime soon? It is insane that jets are more important than not only paying employees who work for the government, but we could be doing so many more efficient things right now. Yet we are buying jets, two of them. She didn't even have two before. She has two now. And people are struggling to make a living in this country. The administration is buying all of these things, yet people are still struggling to make a living in this country. And let's not forget, these jets are being bought with your taxpayer dollars. You'd think we'd do something to help the people in this country and to actually benefit the people in this country. But hey, let them eat cake. In other news, Trump has started the preparation for the new White House ballroom. The White House has started preparing the East Wing for demolition to start the construction of Trump's new ballroom. Crews tore down massive chunks of the entryway and windows, which Trump claims will be fully modernized. In a post on True Social, he wrote, "I am pleased to announce that the grounds have been broke on the White House grounds to build a new, big, beautiful White House ballroom, completely separate from the White House itself. The East Wing is being fully modernized as part of this process, and it will be more beautiful than ever before when it's complete. For more than 150 years, every president has dreamed about having a ballroom at the White House to accommodate people for grand parties, state visits, etc. I am honored to be the first president to finally get this much-needed project underway with zero cost to the American taxpayer. The White House ballroom is privately being funded by many generous patriots, great American companies, and yours truly. This ballroom will be happily used for generations to come. President Donald J. Trump." There is no reason why the president needs a ballroom. Genuinely, this won't even be finished until Trump is done with his term. So not only is it a waste of money, but it is a waste of time. It screams, let them eat cake. And it is flat out destruction of the people's house. I don't know if you've seen, images of it at all, but from the images that I've seen, the East Wing looks like it is being completely destroyed. Let's not forget, yes, the president can change the White House however he wishes, as long as he pays for it. But at the end of the day, the White House is the people's house, and Trump is actively destroying that, which should be talked about and discussed. In other news, a leaked chain of text messages has revealed a Trump appointee says he is on a Nazi streak, along with much more. A leaked group chat between Republicans has revealed even more racist remarks, along with support of Nazism from the Republican Party. One of the chatters is even Trump's nominee to lead the Office of Special Counsel, Paul Ingrassia. However you say that, I could care less if he's a Nazi scum. Ingrassia says that he is on a Nazi streak and even claims that Martin Luther King Jr. should be tossed into the seventh circle of hell. Once again, this displays people related to the Trump administration who have support for Nazis and Nazism as a whole. Yet MAGA is still going to have the balls to say that they are Nazis, when that is blatantly the case. The proof is right there. It's a pencil in a pencil box. It really is. These people are horrific and support concepts that have killed and ruined the lives of millions throughout history, something they are also actively doing today with these ICE concentration camps. So if you still think that this administration is not Nazi, that it is not fascist, you gotta get your shit together and you gotta lock in. Genuinely. Anyways, talking about ICE, this is a more, lighthearted ICE topic, if you will, as an ICE agent has been arrested for drunk driving with his kids in his vehicle and had to shout, "Please don't take my kids." An ICE agent in Florida was arrested for drunk driving and reckless driving with 2 young children in the vehicle. Scott Thomas Deseroth, who is 42, was arrested after a report of reckless driving from another driver. A video of the situation showed him failing a sobriety test miserably. The man couldn't even stand up straight, which got him placed in handcuffs. During his arrest, the video shows the man yelling, "Let me see my kids," and "Please don't take my kids." The irony in this one is absolutely beautiful. But hey, karma always comes back around. And, he is one of the many who is ripping families apart. It was his own decision to become an ICE agent, just as it was his own decision to drive while drunk with his children in the car. So, let him experience what he has likely done to many. Of course, it won't be done at the same degree, and there's no way we should be comparing that. But, at least he gets a taste of it, if you will. It is honestly beautiful, the way that what goes around comes around. But that's what he gets for drinking and putting people's lives at risk. Anyways, moving on into our other news segment, a massive worldwide internet outage took place today. A massive internet outage took place worldwide today, leaving many apps and websites unavailable completely. Many sites have not returned, but here's what we know. Reports of apps being down started at 8 a.m. BST, and 6.5 million reports of over 1,000 companies were made. Apps like Venmo, Roblox, Snapchat, Amazon, and so many others were inaccessible and still might be for many users. It's unknown what exactly caused the outage, but companies are actively working to fix it. To be honest, I didn't even know this was happening this morning until I saw videos about it all over my FYP. All of my apps worked fine when I woke up this morning. Most of my apps that I use weren't even down. I guess Instagram and Snapchat would be the 2 that are. But even when I opened those apps, I still had no problems. I mean, my most used app on my phone is Pokemon Go. It's probably been that case since middle school, so had no issues at all. I am, though, very jealous of all the people who got their classes canceled today because Canvas was down. I wish, unfortunately, it is still not down, but, maybe something will happen to change that and I don't have to deal with any of my classes tomorrow. That would be really nice. In other news, Mike Johnson is saying Adelita Grijalva should be serving her constituents, yet he still refuses to swear her in. House Speaker Mike Johnson believes Representative Adelita Grijalva should serve her constituents, yet he is actively refusing to swear her in. He told reporters instead of doing TikTok, she should be serving her constituents. She could be taking their calls, she could be directing them, trying to help them through the crisis that the Democrats have created by shutting down the government. Yet Grijalva cannot do any of that without being sworn into office, something Johnson still refuses to do. How is he going to say this when he is the one blocking her from doing her job, blocking her from working with these constituents and blocking her from representing these constituents? Sure, she can go into her office and she might be able to take calls, but she doesn't have access to computers or resources that she should have as a representative that she can use to direct people to where they need to go. She also can't vote for her constituents, which is a massive problem. Nor can she do a list of other things that representatives are supposed to do for their constituents. If he thinks that she should just do her job, he should swear her in so she can do her job, because he is the only one preventing her from doing that job. All because he doesn't want the Epstein files released. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, moving on into our final topic for tonight, Dutch intelligence is reducing what they share with the United States. The Dutch intelligence services AIVD and MIVD have reduced the amount of information that they will share with American counterparts due to political developments in the United States under the Trump administration and growing concerns over politicization of intelligence, along with out of respect for human rights. MIVD Director Pete Resnick said in a statement that we sometimes no longer tell certain things. That's true. Sometimes you have to think case by case. You have to think, can I still share this information or not? Officials stress that relations with the U.S. will remain excellent, but they say this is because they themselves have become more critical. This is not shocking at all. Needless to say, the United States has become a lot harsher towards European allies since this administration started, so I'm not shocked to hear that countries are providing less and less intelligence to the United States. I believe Denmark also did something similar when they caught US spies in Greenland, so I'm not shocked at all, and I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to happen throughout US allies across the world. With that being said, though, thank you everyone for watching today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. It has definitely been a very interesting day in the news world, that is for sure. But outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing wonderful. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. All the support would be greatly appreciated. As mentioned, we are trying to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year. I believe we can do it. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're on Substack as well, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like my groceries, like clothing, like all of that. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. And with that being said, thank you all for watching today's episode, and I will see you all tomorrow.